Hello.
Hey, I should turn off Rabbi Bredowitz.
You listen to Rabbi Brown.
You expected me not to listen to Rabbi Bredowitz?
I guess. I guess you should.
He's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
How
So
you
they're
doing?
learning all night.
Yes. So it's Hoshana Rabbah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is a minhag of the Arizal, but I mean, staying up Tikkun Leil Shavuot,
Mm-hmm.
it's a it's very common,
Yeah.
but also Tikkun Leil Shvi'i Shel Pesach, Kriyat Yam Suf, that is less common. And least common is Tikkun Leil Hoshana Rabbah, which is why I'm guessing our dear friend Chezi might actually be hanging around, is he might be staying awake. What time is it in Eretz Israel right now? It is almost 2 a.m. And so our dear friend Yechezkel, what is his middle name? Some Yechezkel something Levi ben Moshe Halevi ben Moshe Halevi. So yeah, Chezi insisted that he be called up Yechezkel Halevi ben Moshe Halevi Levi for his aliyah, which is why he doesn't get aliyah. Yechezkel Shraga Halevi ben Moshe Halevi Levi, and that's why he never gets called up
Because it's a mouthful.
Torah in his shul.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, too many Leviim right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, add to that to the fact that he refuses to go do his duty. It's like, why are we bothering here? He's 4 times Levi, but he refuses to go wash the Kohanim's hands. Anyway, all of that to say that yes, it is Hoshana Rabbah. My cousins and sons all have Halevi in their name. All of them have Halavai also. Halavai is a joke. I mean, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Hoshana Rabbah, yeah, and actually, if you want to see really long davening,
Well, I was talking to somebody that is this the night that you say Tehillim
well, some people,
in Minyan?
every tikkun, yeah. So Chabad, so some people, so Sephardim, I have. So there are people who learn there's what's called a tikkun,
Mm-hmm.
right, which is
Yeah.
based on the works of the Kabbalists. There are specific like liturgy that you read.
Mm-hmm.
Then some people will say Tehillim. I know Chabad specifically on Hoshana Rabbah will say Tehillim. Chabad is not so big into Tikkun, although I think on Shavuot they do say
They
Tikkun.
do, yeah, they do say Tikkun.
But the really Misnagdasha types, they'll just stay up all night and learn, and that's why at Or Sameach there's the shiurim, which makes more sense when you have especially people who aren't used to being religious. Having a night of shiurim makes more sense for those people. But in any case, those 3 night vigils for Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. So tonight would be one of those nights for Hoshana Rabbah. And then some people will, especially Hasidim, I'm not sure if Breslov goes to sleep before they start davening. Some people stay up all night and daven nates. That's what I used to do. But Hoshana Rabbah, especially the liturgy is very long.
Mm-hmm.
Musaf, you have Hallel, you have all the Hoshanot, right? That's why
Yeah.
Hoshana Rabbah. And I mean, there are many, many videos of Breslev Hasidim and other Hasidim taking an incredibly long time, 2, 3, maybe even 4 hour long shachrit after Lil staying up all night. Some people bedavka go take a nap so that they wake up and they can concentrate um, on their prayers. But sometimes also, when you're a little, you know, you haven't slept
Groggy.
for a long time, that also adds a little something to the prayers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
How's your Sukkot been?
It's been good.
Been good.
It's been busy. Sukkot is busy.
Sukkot is busy.
Yes.
Honestly, for me, like I, even though Cheshvan is called Mar Cheshvan, Cheshvan was always my favorite month because it doesn't have any Jewish holidays, right? It's
Yeah.
just 6 days Shabbat, 6 days Shabbat, 6 days Shabbat. I really liked it. It was Cheshvan. Cheshvan was always
Yeah, Sukkot definitely pounced on me after. Like I feel like I managed Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but Sukkot I still need to. It's a lot more planning that needs to be
uh,
had.
yeah. So especially, I mean, if you do Selichot, all of Elul, and especially like, I mean, if you're living an Orthodox life, right? You have the 3 weeks, right, with all of their things, and then you have Selichot, and then you have all of Tishrei, which is
Mhm.
all like by the time you get to Cheshvan, it's just halas,
Mhm.
Yeah. No, we're gonna learn.
No.
No,
Yeah, we're getting close.
we're getting close to learning.
Getting
Um,
close to learning. We're getting close to the end.
we are. This is essay 6. I mean essay 5. Sorry. Yeah, we. Yeah, I think we're on 5. I'm pretty sure we're on 5. Yeah. No, you want to read this? And this one looks
Yeah.
like it's pretty short.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's all you.
ולהבין פרטי ההלכות דלה שכיחי כלל.
Mhm.
Let us understand.
Let me see. Okay. Yes, sorry.
Let us understand how this applies to the details of the laws that never occur at all. Okay, so this might be a continuation a little bit of last week. ואפשר שלא היו מעולם במציאות, and possibly never actually existed. Interesting. I don't know which one it would refer to with this one. Okay. We talked about pigul. I don't know if maybe that never existed.
That well, he's gonna say Pigul can't ever possibly come to exist.
Okay. מכל שכן שלא יהיו לעתיד לבוא, and certainly will not come to pass in the time to come. כמו פרטי דיני פיגול וקאי גוון. For example, the detailed laws of pigul and the like.
So he's saying, when Mashiach comes, obviously there's not going to be Pigul.
Everybody's going to be super focused.
Apparently. At least in the Beit HaMikdash.
Yeah. הנה מודעת זאת,
Mhm.
שכל איסור שבעולם יש לו שורש ומקור חיים בקליפות.
Mhm.
It is known that every prohibited thing in the world has a source and a root of life in the קליפות.
Mhm.
שאם לא כן, לא היה יכול להיות במציאות בעולם בלתי השפעה עליונה. Otherwise, it could not exist in this world without the flow from above, without getting its vitality from a spiritual source.
Right. Everything ultimately comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
ואפילו המסלסל בשערו, וכהי גוונה, מקבל חיותו ברגע זו מהיכלות הקליפות, כמו שכתוב בזוהר. And even one who crinkles his hair, plays with his hair and the like, receives his life force at that moment from the spiritual chambers of the klipot, as is explained in the Zohar. So I only know of the instance of Yosef that it says that he's misalsil b'se'aro.
I didn't even know that.
Or maybe it's a midrash because it says he's proud, like his the thing that he's proud. His pride is something that that obviously affected his siblings, his brothers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on.
I remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, I did a search on Google, and Mesasel Sa'aro, all of the results are all from Tanya. Ich weiß nicht.
I don't know if we have Rashi. Yeah, it might be a Rashi.
It's a Rashi.
I see. I'm just
looking. Sa'aro.
והיה יוסף יפה תואר, כיוון שראה עצמו מושל, התחיל ואוכל, אוכל ושותה ומסלסל בשערו.
Okay.
I think it's a פסוק ו' and פרק א', לא, פרק למ"ת. ת'. Anyway. Okay, weiter.
Let's, yeah.
So even the one who crinkles his hair gets his life force at that moment from the spiritual chambers of the klipot. והיא לכך, גם פרטי האיסורים שלא באו לידי מעשה בעולם הזה הגשמי, therefore even the particular prohibitions that never became practical issues in this physical world, מכל מקום שרשי חיותן הן במציאות בפועל ממש בהיכלות.
Sorry, I was looking up Mesalsel Basaro. It's actually in the Zohar. It talks about it. So.
Okay, but it's also Rashi, right?
It is also Rashi.
Okay.
Correct. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so מכל מקום שרשי חיותן הן במציאות בפועל ממש בהיכלות הקליפות. Still, the roots of their life force do actually exist in the spiritual chambers of the קליפות. וגם הפרטים שיוכל להיות שלא היו ולא יהיו לעולם במציאות, even the particular instances that possibly never did and never will actually occur, כגון טעות ושגגות שטעה וקרא לתשיעי עשירי, כולי וקאי גבנה, for example, errors and unwitting misdeeds like tithing, erroneously calling the 9th sheep the 10th and the like, דלה שייך ומזיד להיות קליפה שורה על זה. The kind of eventuality that cannot be deliberate, thereby cause a klipa to light upon it. So what is it saying here?
So something that's not bezadon is not truly something that's from the klipot.
Okay, that's what I thought. ויוכל להיות דכהי גבנה, אינו במציאות בהיכלות הקליפות. Possibly in these circumstances, it does not exist in the chambers of the klipot. So how then does it possess a source and root in the klipot then? The note says?
This is a Haggah of the Tzemach Tzedek, yeah.
Okay. This is from Tzemach Tzedek, זיכרון לברכה, נשמתו עדן. נראה לי מה שכתב ויוכל להיות, אל מה? דלה ברירה ל. היינו משום שהשגגות באות מנוגה. אם כן, יש לומר, יש להם שורש בהיכלות דנוגה. So the Tzemach Tzedek says, it appears to me that the Alter Rebbe uses the word possibly, implying uncertainty, because unwitting errors derive from noga.
Right. So when he's saying that they don't have a hara from klipot, he means the שלוש קליפות קטמיות.
Yeah. מכל מקום, על כל פנים, ישנו במציאות. להבדיל, בחוכמה עילאה, שנתפשטה בפרט זה למשה רבנו עליו השלום בסיני. In any event, it does exist, if not in the klipot, then at least keeping in mind the distinction between the sacred and the profane, in the supreme wisdom that issued and descended in this detail to Moses at Sinai. כמאמר, מה שכל תלמיד ותיק עתיד לחדש וכו'. As in the expression, whatever teaching any seasoned student will one day innovate, that was taught to Moses at Sinai. וכל פרטי העיבאיות לרבי ירמיה. Likewise, all the detailed queries of Rabbi Yirmiyah.
Yeah. We just talked about Rabbi Yirmiyah. I don't know if you remember Rabbi Yirmiyah.
I saw it was a very good discussion, a very eclectic discussion that you had yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
It was very interesting. Okay. Okay.
קרחתו. Sorry.
כחתו. וכולי, פרק ד' דחולין. And detailed queries such as if she wrapped him in chulin. So a lot of theoretical discussions that were
beyond theoretical. I mean, this is a level of theoretical that Rabbi Yirmiyah was kicked out of the study hall.
Right, for the chicken.
So it's these things that are so far away from kedusha that they're like little bits. They're kind of like spilling out of the cup, you might say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. כי התפשטות חוכמה הילאה היא בבחינת אין סוף המלובש בה בפועל ממש. For the extension of the supreme wisdom that is vested in the laws of Torah is infinite, since the infinite is actually clothed in it. וכל פרט הלכה הוא שער נמשך מחוכמה הילאה. The yasad every particular of the law is a gate drawn from the supreme wisdom. The yasad brata umelubash ba, which founded the daughter and is clothed in it. So Chokhmah, the father, founded Malchut, the daughter. Malchut is the mouth, which we call the oral Torah. Chokhmah then is clothed in the laws of the oral Torah as they are to be found in their source in Malchut of Hatzilut.
Correct.
וממנה נמשך ומתלבש בפריאה, יצירה ועשייה. And from Malchut, Chokhmah is drawn and invested. Malchut of Hatzilut, Chokhmah is drawn and invested in בריאה, יצירה and עשייה. ונודע כי יניקת הקליפות מאחוריים די 10 ספירות לקדושה. It is known that the nurture of the klipot derives from the hinder part of the 10 ספירות of holiness. ובפרט מלבושים די 10 ספירות די בריאה, יצירה ועשייה. And more precisely from the garments of the 10 ספירות of בריאה, יצירה and עשייה. ובפרט די יצירה ועשייה מעורבים בקליפות. And yet more precisely, they derive their nurture from the garments of Yetzirah and Asiyah that they're intermingled with klipot. Kanoda she'anikata mibchinat halevushim. For as is known, their nurture derives from the state of garments. ועל ידי עסק ההלכות בדיבור ומחשבה מתפרשים ומתפרדים מהקדושה. Through the study of the laws in speech and in thought, they become separated and distinct from the sacred. כמו שכתוב בתיקונים וראיה מהמנה להפרשה וכו'. Thus it is stated in Tikkunim and Raya Mehemna, the Zohar, to separate, etc., the klipot from holiness through Torah study.
Yeah.
So you refine, you take out the
yeah, by coming to the details and the points of Rav Yirmiyah, right? You're causing a separation. You're taking the klipot and separating them out of kedusha.
Yeah. והיינו, כנודע ממה שאמרו, על שלא בירכו בתורה התחילה וכולי. This accords with what is known concerning the teaching of our sages in answer to the prophet's query, why was the land destroyed? Saying, for they did not recite the blessing before Torah study.
Yeah, read this now.
So the inner meaning of this is that the people of those times, is that the second
temple? Yeah.
People of those times love to draw down the infinite light into their study of the Torah. For barech, bless, the root of the word in the holy tongue, that means a blessing, signifies drawing down. Evil cannot be separated from good by the Torah alone. It must be studied in the proper manner. Right. Okay. Shehu al yadam shachat or en sof b'chokhma el ha'am elobeshet b'en. This separation is effected by drawing down the infinite light into the supreme wisdom clothed in them in the laws of the Torah. U b'chokhma itbareru. Through chokhmah they are sorted out, through the infinite light that is within them, i.e. within chokhmah. This is equally true regarding the study of the laws of prohibitory commands, even those that would most probably never occur. For the Torah study itself accomplishes this purification. והמשכה זו נעשתה על ידי דיוקן העליון של האדם, העושה גם כן בהלכות אלו מלמעלה, למעלה. This light is drawn into the supreme wisdom, but the supernal likeness of man, who is also occupied with these laws. So when a man studies Torah below, his source above engages in Torah study as well. בשורשו, בנוקבה דאזעיר אנפין, דבריאה יצירה עשייה. In its source, in the nukba of za, of bria, of ze, of bria יצירה אין עשייה. ובזה יובן חיוב כל נפש רוח נשמה להשלים כל התרי"ג במחשבה דיבור מעשה שאין פרטי ההלכות. Thus we can understand the requirement that every nefesh ruach neshama fulfill all 613 commandments in thought, speech, and deed, meaning the details of all the laws. וצריכות לבוא בגלגול להשלים התורה בפשט רמז דרוש סוד. They, the nefesh ruach neshama, that failed to complete the previous mission in this world must be reincarnated to fulfill the Torah in its simple meaning, allusions, homiletics, and secrets.
פרדס.
כדי לברר כל הבירורין הנוגעות להם מכל הרפ"ח, שהיא קומת אדם שלמה. In order to sort out and refine all that pertains to them from among 288 sparks that constitute the complete structure of man. תרי"ג בחינות כלליות ופרטיות, with the 613 categories, general and particular, that relate to each soul. אבל לעתיד לבוא, כשיושלם הבירור, יהיה עסק התורה בבחינת עשה טוב לבד. But in the time to come, when the refinement is culminated, the study of Torah will be in the form of do good alone, and no longer in order to separate good from evil. So how does that work? Does that mean that so this is probably a question that was asked many times before, but does that mean that there will, so if Sur Mira is not eating pork, does that mean that their pork will not exist, or that pork will be kosher?
So Chazir in Hebrew is Otiot Choser. Right.
Now I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So specifically, I mean, we know that Ya'avir Ruach HaTumah min ha'aretz, and Leviathan ze yatzarta lasachek bo, and there will be the shchitat yetzer hara, and Mamlechet Hazadon, Ta'avir Min Haaretz, right? So how exactly that's going to look like? I mean, so the Rambam paskins that it certainly doesn't need to happen in any extraordinary or supernatural way.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's also possible that it will happen in an supernatural and extraordinary way. And unfortunately, over the years, we've had many people who have thought that Khalila Has, Mashiach has been revealed, but that other people don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have participated in many Hashem Yerachem mistaken ways, not least of which would be the people like the Sabbateans, right? And maybe others. But this comes from, I mean, ultimately it's explained by you cannot see my face and live. You can only see me from behind. When Mashiach comes, it will be clear to everyone in such a way that no one will need to teach his fellow man anything, and each from the least to the greatest will know Hashem. Then we will be able to understand it clearly. Until that time, ich weiß nicht.
Makes sense. Okay. So, you only in the world to come, it will only be about do good as opposed to
Sur Mira, yeah, it'll be Yatzeh Tov, because there won't be Ra. In fact, we'll be eating from the we'll be eating at the Seudato Shel Mashiach. We'll be eating from the Leviathan and Behemot. We will be eating in Sukkot David Hanofelet, the fallen tabernacle of David, whatever that means.
My rabbi just shared something about Sukkot David Nofet, but I can't remember what it was. Sukkot David Nofet. I don't remember. Too bad.
Hu yakim lanu Sukkot David hanofelet. He will establish for us. He will make it stand once more. The tabernacle of David, which has fallen.
Yeah. Okay. So, La'alot anefesh ruach neshama mala ad en sof. Its purpose will be to elevate the nefesh ruach neshama ever and infinitely higher. It's being
the learning of Torah.
וגם בשסה לא תעשה בשורשן למעלה שהן גבורות קדושות. And also with regard to the study of the 365 prohibitions, to elevate them to their source, the holy attributes of severity. ולהמתיקן בחסדים ברמ"ח מצוות עשה ולכללן יחד. And to sweeten them through the attributes of kindness that are in the 248 positive commandments, and to fuse them with the attributes of severity. ועל כן התורה כולה נצחית בכללה ובפרטה. The entire Torah is thus eternal, in general and in detail. שגם פרטי ההלכות דשסה לא תעשה, הן הנפים מהכללות. For even the individual laws of the 365 prohibitions are branches of the Torah's general statements. ויש לכולם שורש למעלה בחמש גבורות הקדושה. All of them have a source above in the 5 holy attributes of severity. כמו השסה לא תעשה עצמן, שהן למעלה בחינת הדם המחיה, האיברים, דקלים דזעיר אנפין. just as the 365 prohibitions themselves, as they are above, in the state of blood that animates the organs of the vessels of Zah.
Let's do something I don't usually do. Let's delve into the Zohar.
מסלסל בשערו.
Mesalsel Bezaro. So the Zohar in Vayishlach 116. וישלח יעקב מלאכים, רבי שמעון פתח ואמר, טוב נקלה ועבד לו, ממתכבד וחסר לחם. פסוק זה נאמר על יצר הרע, משום שהוא תמיד מקטרג לבני אדם, ויצר הרע מרים ליבו רצונו של האדם בגאווה, והולך אחריו מסלסל בשערו ובראשו, עד שמתגאה עליו ומושך אותו לגיהינום. And good thing there is a translation here. And Jacob sent messengers. Rabbi Shimon began the discussion with the verse, better is one lightly esteemed who owns a servant than one who pranks himself but lacks bread. Tov nikle ve'eved lo mitkabed, somebody who has what you call it for himself, v'chasar lachem, but he actually lacks bread. This verse refers to the evil inclination who constantly accuses man. The evil inclination causes man to become haughty and proud, encouraging man to curl his hair until the evil inclination towers over him and drags him to Gehinnom. Aval tov nikle, it's better that someone should be lightly esteemed. Oto shelo holech achar yetzer hara, velo mitga'e klal, umanmich רוחו וליבו רצונו אל הקדוש ברוך הוא, ואז אותו יצר הרע מתהפך לא לעבד שלא יכול לשלוט עליו, ואותו איש שולט עליו, כמו שנאמר, ואתה תמשל בו. Better is one lightly esteemed, means one who does not follow the evil inclination, and does not act haughtily, but humbles his spirit, heart, and will before the Holy One, blessed be He. Then the evil inclination becomes his servant, as it cannot control him. On the contrary, the person controls it, as it is written, you may rule over him. Mm-hmm. Like HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Cain. Mi mitkabed, from one who makes himself glorious, כמו שאמרנו, שהוא מכבד עצמו, מסלסל בשערו, מתגאה ברוחו, והוא חסר לחם, חסר אמונה, כמו שנאמר לחם אלוקיו וגומר, לחם אלוהיהם הם מקריבים. As it is, as we said, then that he puts on airs, curls his hair, and acts haughtily but lacks bread. This means when we talk about bread, we talk about lachma de mehemnuta, we talk about faith, the bread of faith. This means a lack of faith, as it is written, to offer the bread of his God. Mm-hmm. And the bread of their God they do offer. Bread is the Shekhinah in both verses. Faith is the Shekhinah, so lacking bread means lacking faith. Got it?
Yeah, I got it on the simple level of I think in terms of you can be somebody that is lightly esteemed or doesn't view himself as
so seriously,
too seriously, but it has substance to himself. So this is as opposed to somebody that views himself as high and mighty while lacking bread. And lacking bread, the way that I intuitively first thought about it, is like lacking any substance.
Mm.
Faith too, but also substance. Like, somebody that puts on real nice shoes and clothes, but then goes back home and he has nothing, right? So that's kind of the vision that I got there.
One more bit of Zohar, Vayeshev 21:2-13. Rabbi Eliezer Amar, V'yihi achar hadvarim ha'ele, mazehi, hare pershuha, makom ze sheyetzer hara mekatreg, shehu hadarga achar hadvarim, משום שיוסף נתן לו מקום לקטרג, שהיה יוסף מסלסל בשערו, ומתקן את עצמו ומקשט אותו, אז נתן מקום ליצר הרע לקטרג, שאמר ומה אביו מתאבל עליו, ויוסף מקשט את עצמו ומסלסל בשערו, אז התקרא בו הדוב וקטרג לו. So, it's talking about Yosef HaTzadik, that he had to flee from Eshet Potiphar. So it's asking, why was it? It says after these things that this happened. So Rabbi Eliezer asks, why is it say after these things? It's because he had adorned himself, and the Yetzer Hara was able to ask. His father is
Mourning him,
and here he is making himself look glorious,
looking himself in the mirror.
Yeah. And one last one, chapter 22:2-38. מה דרכו של יצר הרע? כיוון שרואה שאין האדם עומד כנגדו ויוצא לקרב איתו, מיד ותתפסהו בבגדו לאמור שכבה עמי, ותתפסהו בבגדו, משום שכאשר יצר הרע שולט על האדם, מתקין אותו ומקשט לו את לבושו, מסלסל בשערו. זהו שכתוב תתפסהו בבגדו לאמור שכבה עמי, הידבק עמי. So that Eshet Potiphar grabs the clothing of Yosef, tells us the way that the Yetzer Hara works against the person. It grabs him by his clothes and says, be with me, be together with me. That a person, when the evil inclination is grabbing onto him, is ruling over him, it makes him adorn himself and makes him look nice, and says, be as this clothing of yours, and be one with it. Mi shahu tzaddik, just a little bit more, mitgaber kenegdo v'nilcham bo krav, ma katuv v'yazov bigdo v'yadah v'yanas v'yetzeh hachutza, ya'azov oto v'yitgaber kenegdo v'yilachem bo krav v'yivrach mimenu kedei lehinatzel mimenu v'lo yishlot alav. But a righteous man, he flees from it. He rips off his clothes and runs away.
Right. It's the thing that the Yetzer Hara attaches itself to, Is those adornments are the thing that you become like the levushim, and the levushim is what you need to give
Yeah.
away.
Nofelet, it fell, which means it can rise again.
Continuously, right?
And it's a process, so it seems to keep falling. However, never harva. It has never fallen. Be the outer, but be the outer shell. Let nature take over. That's who sees in the mirror, so he plays with his hair. What can I say? Rabbeinu Yechezkel. Okay. Can we keep on going? Should we keep on going with Essay 6? Let's see how long it is. Doesn't look like it's that long. We'll try to be quick.
Let's do it. You want me to do it, or
I can do it. David Zemirot Karit Lahu. David, you call them songs. This is from Sota 35a. Because he had referred to the laws of Torah as songs, David was punished by being made to stumble in a matter that even school children know, that the ark is to be carried on the shoulders. Hine Zohar, Shvacha de'oraita urnanana. In the Zohar, we find the expression, the praise of Torah and its song. The Torah is a hymn and a song to God. ולהבין מהו השבח לקדוש ברוך הוא כשזה אסור או מותר. Let us understand what is the praise God when a particular object is forbidden or permitted, right? The Torah says this is allowed, this is not allowed. How does that praise God? הנה הוא על דרך מה גדלו מעשיך השוויה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. Similar concept is implicit in the verse, how great are your works, O God. Your thoughts are very deep. Why does the verse make the deed precede the thought? Excuse me. The Alter Rebbe will soon explain that from an appreciation of God's great works, one begins to understand the depths of his thoughts. And since people have been worrying about me and my cough, I made an appointment to see my doctor. So don't worry about me.
It's good.
כי הנה נודע שכל העולמות עליונים ותחתונים תלויים בדקדוק מצווה אחת. For it is known, all the worlds, the exalted and the lowly, are dependent on the meticulous performance of a single mitzvah. Derech mashal. Im hakorban kasher, na'aseh yichud elyon, ve'olim kol ha'olamot lekabel chayutan v'shif'am. Right? So if you, for example, are bringing a korban, a sacrifice to the altar, and it is a kosher one, then the entirety of the world is uplifted. Ve'im shina. And if there was some sort of change, chas v'shalom, shekibel hadam besmolo derech mashal, או שלא בכלי שרת כשר, או שהייתה חציצה, right? So either he used his left hand, or, for example, or he used a vessel that wasn't kosher, or there was some sort of separation between his hand and the vessel. אזי נתפתלה עליות העולמות וחיותם ושפעם מחיי החיים אין סוף ברוך הוא. Then this great uplifting of the entire world from the source of all life is um, is nullified and doesn't happen. וכן בתפילין כשרות, similarly to have a kosher set of tefillin, מתגלים מוחין עליונים בדזר אנפין ונוקבה. You have, there's a revealed, the supernal intellect of Za and Zan, right, the Nukva, שהם מקור החיים לכל העולמות, that they are the source of life of everything. ובדקדוק אחד הנפסלין ומסתלקין המוחין, but through one detail they can be invalidated, and the mochin, the intellectual parts, can depart. Gavna b'dikdukei mitzvot lo ta'aseh. And similarly, when we talk about the prohibitions, והלקח המתבונן מה גדלו מעשה השם שבריבוי העולמות וכל צבאם. So someone who actually meditates on the greatness of God's works in the multiplicity of the worlds and all their hosts. ואיך כולם בטלים במציאות לגבי דקדוק אחד בדקדוקי תורה. That they see that the entirety of creation depends on the details of the Torah. שהוא עומק מחשבה העליונה וחוכמתו יתברך, right? Because the Torah comes from God's supreme thought and profundity of his wisdom. אשר בדקדוק קל עולים כל העולמות ומקבלים חיותם ושפעם, או להפך חס ושלום. That based on a single little part, I will tell you a story I very much like about this.
Yeah.
A man was once told that he may go up into the attic of a rich man and he may take anything that he wishes, only he should not touch any of the ropes. So he goes up to this attic and he sees that the attic is filled with every kind of rich clothing of all sorts, silks and embroidery and beautiful things. And he starts taking clothes that he wants to the point where he can't carry them anymore. And he says, obviously the Baal Habayit, the person who owns this house, wants me to have these things. And not only that, he's making it so easy for me, and maybe I'm doing him a favor by cleaning out his attic. I'm surely he won't mind if I take a bit of rope and tie these things together. And so he cuts off, he sees some rope that looks like it's not holding anything up, it's not doing anything important. He cuts a bit off and he starts wrapping up the clothes that he's taking. And suddenly there comes a scream from below, fire, fire. And there's smoke. And he turns around to go take the clothes, and there's too much fire, and he can't even take the clothes. And he ends up fleeing from the house. And he sees everyone else there around, and they say, and he says, "What happened? What happened?" And they said, suddenly the chandelier, literal candles, fell, and there was fire, and the entire house burnt down. Because he didn't understand that that rope that he was cutting was holding the chandelier up.
Right. Interesting. I thought you were gonna say that he needed to escape from the window and he needed the rope.
Nope.
I have another relevant joke. I
Yeah.
don't know if this was a joke, but I have a joke. So I think it's in the. I think Rabbi Gordon in the Daily Study mentions it.
Mhm.
So there's a guy that writes to Chabad.org and he asks about like what are all these laws and all the details, everything like I need to do this with the right hand and then move it to the left hand and do this and like how does this little thing matter to the all infinite, all knowing, all doing, or like
Yeah.
how like why do all these details matter?
Mhm.
And he sends an email and a few months pass and he doesn't get any response. So he sent another email to the rabbi and he tells him and then sorry in the original he sends another email to the rabbi and he tells him I sent you a long detailed note. I had a question I asked, this is really bothering me, but you're being disrespectful, you're not even answering me. So the rabbi finally responds and says, I apologize, but when you first wrote the email to me, when I wrote back, I forgot to add the at symbol.
Mhm.
So it didn't go through. But this time it did go through. But the whole point to say is that in an email, if you write the name, even like one letter, maybe not
Yeah.
an at symbol, maybe just a letter is wrong, you're not gonna get any response. So
Yeah.
details matter.
Yeah. Details matter. Details do matter.
Yeah.
Okay. ומזה נתבונן גדולת עומק מחשבתו יתברך שהוא בבחינת בלי גבול ותכלית. From this we can understand the prodigious profundity of God's thought, which is boundless and endless. ומעלתה לאין קץ ותכלית על מעלות חיות כל העולמות, right? And its great transcendence from the vitality of all the worlds. שכל חיותן שופע מדקדוק אחד ממנו, right? That all of their vivifying power issues from a minor requirement of God's thought. שהוא נמשך ממקורו הוא עומק מחשבתו יתברך. That it is drawn from its source, which is the depths of God's thought that specified it. כמו שער האדם הנמשך ממוחו על דרך משל. Like you might say you might say a single hair comes and emanates from a person's head. וכנודע מהתיקונים וההדרה רבה, and this stuff is explained in the Tikkunei Zohar and the Idra Rabbah.
It's interesting. He says, "Se'ar Adam nimshach mimocho."
Right. So ultimately, like what we're saying is that the life force so a hair has very little life force, but ultimately all of your life force.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
It was just interesting because you can give the metaphor of like now when you find a single hair, it can help you find out a murder, right? Because like even in that single piece of non-living tissue is the source of is the code of the source of the person, of its source.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry.
So Don wants to come on and tell us Rabbi Federer's joke. If you really want to, Don, I'll send you the link and you can come on and tell us Rabbi Federer's joke.
I don't know Rabbi Federer.
You don't know Rabbi Federer? He's on Tanakh Talk. Rahman al-Islan, he received his rabbinic ordination from a place we won't talk about, but he's become more and more Jewish over as he's gotten older. וזאת הייתה שמחת דוד המלך עליו השלום. And this was the delight of King David. שהיה מזמר ומרנן לשמח ליבו בעסק התורה בעת צרתו. That he sang to gladden his heart in his Torah study during his time of anguish. Don is at work. Don, don't you live down under? I didn't think people worked when they were upside down.
No, there's work when you're upside down for sure.
There is? Okay.
Yeah. Good for cleaning windows and.
Well, so my joke with Australia is they live their lives upside down. Because Don is in Oregon, and I haven't. Next time I'm in Oregon, we're gonna have to meet up. Okay. מה שהיה משתבח בתהילת התורה במעלתה זו, ואמר זמירות היו לי חולו, נענש על זה. However, for extolling the Torah with this quality, saying your statutes were songs for me, he was punished. ואמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, זמירות קרית lahu, you're going to call them songs? משום שבאמת מעלתה זו, שכל העולמות בטלים לגבי דקדוק אחד ממנו, that this particular quality that all of the worlds depend on its details, היא בחינת אחוריים של עומק המחשבה. Truly, it's from the hinder points of the profundity of the supernal thought. כמו שכתוב במקום אחר בשם האריזל על מאמר רבותינו זכרונם לברכה, נובלות חוכמה שלמעלה Torah. The Arizal apparently explains the Torah is the withered vestige of supernal wisdom. Aval plimit sheba'omek, but the most innermost parts of the depth, shehu plimit haTorah, hi meyuchedet legamre, be'or ein sof baruch hu hamelubash ba, betachlit hayichud. The innermost part is completely unified with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Legabe ein sof baruch hu, kol ha'olamot kelo mamash ve'ayin ve'efes mamash. In that manner, when we look at the world, even its greatness is completely not, is as if it's nothing. Ki ata hu ad shelo nivra ha'olam. As we say, you are God even before the creation of the world. V'hilkach gam lepnimiut haTorah ein l'shapcha klal b'tehilat ha'chayut kol ha'olamot me'achar delo mamash chashive. Because when we talk about the inner aspects of the Torah, right, then even saying, it's so great that the entire world depends on it is actually a ganai. It's not a good thing. ובבחינת פנימיותה אין שמחת לבב אנוש ושעשועיו, and this isn't truly a heartfelt joy and delight of the heart, אלא כביכול שמחת לב ושעשוע המלך הקדוש ברוך הוא שמשתשע בה. But rather, in a manner of speaking, the innermost aspect of the Torah is the heartfelt joy and pleasure of the King himself, the Holy One, blessed be He, who delights in it. Ki Elokim Hevin Darkah V'yada Mekomah Uma'alata. For only God understands its ways and knows its station and quality. B'yediat atzmo kaviyachol, in his knowledge of himself, as if such thing were possible to say. Aval ne'elma me'einei kol chai, and this is something that's hidden from all things which actual have living. כמו שכתוב, ופניי לא יראו, like it says, you cannot see my face, my innermost parts. דהיינו בחינת פנימיותה, כמו שנתבאר שם בשם האריזל. Like the Arizal explains, וזה שאמר הכתוב, יהיה אצלו חולו שעשועים, I was a delight unto him. אצלו דווקא. What?
Where is this from? I was a delight unto him.
It is Proverbs 8:30.
Okay.
Etzlo davka. This is particularly for God Himself. Mesacheket lefanav. It is playing before Him. Lefanav davka. Dahainu bebechinat pnimiuta. This is an inner aspect of godliness. Va'azeh amar va'ehye etzlo amon. Concerning this innermost level of Torah, it is written, I am his amon, one who is nurtured, Proverbs 8:30. Al tikre amon, ela omen. The Midrash tells us, don't read a person who is natured, but one who nurtures. Va'al bechinat achorayim amar mesacheket betevel arzo v'sha'ashu'ai et bnei adam. It is with reference to the hinder part, the external aspects of the Torah, that it is written, and in this verse, the Torah describes itself as playing in the world, his land, and my delights are with mortal men. It is the external aspect of the Torah that brings delight to the world and to man. Ki haTorah nitna bebechinat panim va'achor. Because the Torah has two aspects, the inward aspect and the external aspect. K'dichtiv Megillah afa the Zechariah, as it is written concerning the flying scroll of Zechariah, Vehi ketuva panim va'achor, that it was written on the inside and the outside. V'lefi shetafas David bebechinat achorai, and because David seized upon the outermost aspects of the Torah to praise with song, therefore he was made to be forgetful. And forgetfulness is something that comes from the outer aspects. Let's see what Rabbi Chazi says. Fortunately, lo b'shamayim he, and v'haaretz natna l'bnei adam, and slowly as we develop, we can start exposing more of our image and his image. I hear you. Although the Alter Rebbe here is expressing a different aspect. V'ne'elam. Mimenu lefi sha'a ma shekatuv avodat hakodesh aleihem b'katef yisa'u. And he was made to forget this particular detail that even school children should know, that the ark should be carried upon the shoulders. L'chaber le'ched et haketefayim shehem b'chinat achorayim, in order to combine and unite the shoulders, which are akin to the inner aspect. El avodat hakodesh, to include them to the whole sacred service. Hi chokhma il'a bebechinat panim, which is the inner aspect of supernal wisdom. Shemisham nimshachu halochot sheba'aron, and from that is where the tablets in the ark come from, is the inner aspects of God's wisdom. Kamo shekatav katuv ketuvim mishnei evreihem. Like it says, they were written on both their sides. Kamo shekatuv b'Yerushalmi the shkalim shelo hayta bahem bechinat panim va'achor that the Jerusalem Talmud in Tractate Shekalin says that whichever way you looked at the tablets, you saw the exact same thing because there was no back and front in there. Ayen Sham, look there, and you will understand. Rabbi Chazi says, remember, David isn't a prophet according to Radak and Ralbag.
How is that relevant?
I think he's saying that David only was able to see from the outer aspect, not from the inner aspect.
Right.
I think that's what Rabbi Yechezkel is telling us. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
Next week we will do essay 7, and then let's see. There's a few. I think it's 10 total. Is it? No, it's 9. Yeah, no, 9.
No.
10? 9 or 10?
10 or 12?
10 or 12?
Between 10.
10. It's 10.
10.
And then, so we still have to do 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
We just did. No, we just finished 6. Yeah, just finished 6. So there's 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2 more weeks, and then we will make a siyum on Tanya, and it's going to be. Is it actually going to be close to Chai Kislev? I mean, not that close. Let's see. So we are right now the 20th of Tishrei. Next week, and then the week after that, we will be in Cheshvan. Yeah. I was thinking because Yud Tes Kislev is Yud Tes Kislev. I was thinking is when the study of Tanya begins and ends every year. The annual cycle.
You can hit that.
We'll still be a month from that.
Okay.
Yeah. That would have been nice, but
I'll try to see if I can.
I'll invite my rabbi. You invite your rabbi. See what they think.
Who's your rabbi? Can I drop a name for my rabbi?
Wagner from Chabad at USC.
Dov Wagner?
Yes. Plus Chezi, but Chezi refuses to go take his test, so he's not a real rabbi. He's my fake rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's kind of young.
Your rabbi? The rabbi?
Chezi's kind of young. My rabbi's 2 years older than me, and I'm pretty old, so that's kind of old.
We'll have from the entire spectrum.
Yeah. No, I'll ask Rabbi Wagner. So let's plan. Is it gonna be? Let's see how far we get next week, and then either the 5th or the 12th we can. Oh, is that when I'm gonna be going to the wedding? There's a wedding.
Yeah,
I'll be back. I'll be here. Oh, the 5th is election day.
No, the 9th, no?
No, the 5th is election day. The wedding is on the 9th, on the 8th of November.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was the 9th.
Election day is on the 5th.
Okay, yeah, November is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So maybe on election day we'll make a CEO on Tanya, and that will guarantee that only good people can win the election.
Yeah, if we can aim for the 5th, it will be, it might be good. Very
He's
timely.
expressing through Ruach HaKodesh. It's interesting to see this as Achorayim. I will keep trying to figure out some of these Hebrew words in the chat, but I need to buy a vowel.
You need to buy a few vowels.
Yeah, none of these Hebrew words have vowels. I'm sorry. But Hebrew is not written with vowels, my dear friend. Ruach HaKodesh. Did he rewrite? No, Ruach HaKodesh, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Divine Spirit.
Outer garment, yeah.
Unfortunately, Chazi doesn't know how to spell divine. Achorayim, outer garment.
Divine.
Yeah, divine is with
Yep,
eyes.
like the chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you planning on staying up for Hoshana Rabbah? It's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I don't think I will stay up.
Yeah.
Gonna go to a little Farbrengen today, but
There's a Farbrengen. Honestly,
there was yesterday too, but I didn't go. I should have. There was Simchat Bet HaShoava in downtown Austin, but I didn't go.
Actually, I think this is the 1-year anniversary of Ben going to 770 and
Jonathan,
Jonathan, not Ben. Jonathan, they're going to 770 and being Mikabel, or maybe it's 2 years. Is it 2 years or is it 1 year? It's hard to remember. But and being Mikabel Shabbat Mitzvat B'nai Noach, it was on Hoshana Rabbah. Yeah, maybe it is 2 years. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so there's Simchat Torah. I mean, Hoshana Rabbah is something to behold. Simchat Torah is obviously even more to behold. Yeah, Simchat Torah is on Friday.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we'll have Cheshvan, sweet Mar Cheshvan. Yeah. Okay, we good? Land the plane.
Let's do it. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.